Okay, on this video we will introduce the unit circle, and we will also define the sine function and the cosine function. So I'm going to begin by drawing the unit circle. And what the unit circle is it's a circle that's on the XY plane, and it's centered at the origin. So it's centered at the origin and has radius of 1. And because the radius is 1, the point that I'm showing right here will be 1, 0, because we go 1 to the right and 0 up or down. Now, if I draw an angle in standard position, which means that one side, which we call the initial side, lies on the positive x-axis, and the terminal side is as shown, then that's in standard position. Then what we can do is we can label points where that terminal side meets the unit circle. Okay, and when we've talked about angles before, we've talked about, well, the degrees of the angles, or we even went further to talk about radians of an angle. But this is more information, which is the x and y coordinate where the terminal side meets the unit circle when the angle is in standard position. Then we define cosine and sine as cosine theta equals x, so that the x coordinate is cosine theta and sine theta equals y on the unit circle. Now, one of the things I think is a challenge in general about trigonometry is that there are different ways to define cosine and sine, cosine theta, sine theta, and they all work together. It's not like they contradict each other. This is one way. This is one way when the circle has radius 1. Okay, it's slightly different. We can have a definition that's slightly different when I look at a circle of general radius r. But this is the approach that we're following here. So we're going to look at the radius is 1. Okay, so and in fact, what you sometimes see is a picture that's similar to the one I have here, where I have 1. Okay, is the radius. This one's not as careful as the one before, but anyway, instead of writing xy, if this is theta, we could write cosine theta, sine theta, because we're saying that this x up here is cosine theta, this y is sine theta. So anyway, maybe I'll do them both. Okay, so that's what we have for there. Now, let's go ahead and do an example where we apply this definition. Find cosine theta and sine theta using the figure below. Okay, so here I'm drawing a unit circle, and I'm going to say that this point here, this is theta, and I'm going to say that this point here is 1/2, and the other point is square root of 3 over 2. Okay, sorry. So that's a picture of a unit circle and this one particular angle. So the solution is, given this picture, can we find what cosine theta is? Cosine theta is equal to x, so therefore cosine theta is equal to 1/2. Sine theta is equal to y, so therefore sine theta is equal to square root of 3 over 2. All right, so that's the answer there. These are the answers. Okay, so let's start another page.